for another update on what's happening in the world. As you all know, over the past few days, I've been updating you not just on what's happening on the Philippine markets, but what's going on also in the world. But not just that, how it's affecting global economies slash global stock markets. Because you have to remember this: what happens in different countries affects our economy as well, especially in the larger economies like the US and China, and how money would move from their markets, money would move to stocks and bonds, will also affect how money moves in the Philippine markets as well. So I'm filming this before US markets open. So as of last night, the Dow Jones closed at 23,537. It was slightly up, and if you look at the charts here, it was forming a resistance already close to the 24,000 level. And for those who are asking, yes, technical analysis works not just in the Philippine markets, but it works in any market in the world as long as it anything that factors human sentiment, human emotion, and human input. Because at the end of the day, the reason why stocks massively go down, the reason why it retraces, is mainly because investors are emotional. People are emotional. That's why you see movements up. That's why you see movements down. And that's why I've been talking about this in our stocks by request sessions. That basically, it's all about knowing if the chart shows you if people are scared or if people are excited or there's no catalyst also for them to buy higher for a certain stock. Also, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, as of this, video, closed up again at 4.78% at 5,789, primarily because of my video yesterday where we talked about that the BSP slash rates by 50 basis points as well. Again, this gives banks a chance to have to ease conditions, no, with one main effect to protect the economy. As what I've mentioned on the video yesterday also, it's their way to somehow make the economy protected using monetary stimulus to do that. If you want to know more details about it, you can go to my video that I posted yesterday all about it. Anyways, just a quick update also on some stocks, no, that push the index higher. Ali closed at 31.55, Jollibee's 145, Pure Gold 45.75. SM Prime massively moved up. It's at 31.95. BDO is 105. AC's close to 600 already at 597. SM is at 860. PLDT is 1138. ICT up 7% at 80.50. So, by the way, after this, later on tonight, similar to what I've done over the past few days, we have stocks by request again. So, just comment, just comment whatever stocks that you guys want, and we're gonna do more about it over the next few days. So, there. By the way, just wanted to celebrate. Now, sometimes there are times also where you need to celebrate as well. We just hit 100,000 subscribers yesterday, just literally a few hours ago. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be a stock market YouTube channel in the Philippines, having more than 100,000 subscribers. It's something that I've never done before, and it's something that I don't know. It's just so interesting. It shows that more and more Filipinos now are getting more mature. That they're people have. I don't know, the interest also to learn more about investing as well. So if you have not if you have not subscribed yet, super appreciated if you can, if you find any value in all of this. And I have a second channel where there's all of the investing cartoons are there, basic information about investing and the market. It's called Stock Investing Made Easy, and all of the details are there as well. So let's get into the thick of this. Please remember, IMF already declared that we are in a global recession. I posted a video about that. But as you all know, this is something that's progressive. This is something that is shifting. This is something that we haven't really seen the full extent of how bad this could go. Especially there's still no cure yet. Especially a lot of people are still getting infected. Especially that we have not seen uh, how this could be contained as well. So up until we see a cure, I guess that's when we will see. We will have, I guess, a a target on the horizon on when it will get better. And one of the things that pushed this to become even worse is that 22 million Americans already lost their jobs in just 1 month. So again, not a very good figure. I think over the past week, 5 million Americans claimed that they were jobless already, and they were claiming for benefits. Again, this puts a strain into the US economy because, again, every time you apply for unemployment benefits, the government subsidizes it, and the government already has been printing tons of money already to just support the American economy. So this is not good. We don't know also yet how big uh, how big this will be, how many jobs will be affected. Please remember also there's over 300 million Americans. Uh, if this hits 30 million, it's around 10% of their entire population already. But you have to understand also that a large chunk of their population is aging. The difference between the US population and the Philippine population is we have a young demographic dividend. We have 25 years old, I think, as our median age as well. That being said, also, this is one of the worst stretches of US jobless reports on record. So we have not seen something like this in general. I posted a video with Efren Cruz where he mentioned that I think over the past year there were 16 million jobs that were created. At that time, there were only 10 million jobs that were lost. So right now, there's more jobs that were lost already than the ones that were created. And what's interesting about this is when people started cutting off people, laying off people, taking them out of their jobs because really there was no demand, or they saw the effects of the coronavirus already. It was people first in the service industry that got hit: bartenders, barbers, people in salons, spas, people in restaurants, people in fast food chains, service industry people. But now, a week or so, we're now seeing white collar workers getting hit: IT programmers, engineers, people in sales. Some people also in the medical field have also been hit. So now these are people also who are earning more as well. So please remember what I said also in the previous in some of the videos that I posted, that the average American has only 6 weeks of savings, meaning if they don't have a job for more than 6 weeks, it means that they'll be in a lot of trouble. And again, it will be a larger spiral if people can't, number one, pay for the rent, pay for their cars, pay for their credit cards. Then you will see a slew of defaults that could possibly happen. But then again, the US government is doing a lot, infusing a lot of money to say that okay lang, wag niyo muna sinasingilin, don't get their money first. We're gonna give you cash so that even if they don't pay, the bank will still stay afloat. But again, the figures are showing that the economy continues to degrade as of this point in time. Anyways, another thing I'd like to point out was this: there was a stimulus program worth 249 billion US dollars. It was a small business relief program for small businesses, to help them loans to keep them afloat, so that they also have enough money that they don't have to cut workers, so they don't have to fire workers, so workers still get paid. So the trade-off with that is, at least, if workers have their jobs, they could spend, things would still work as normal, and they would not rely on government subsidy. But from what I've seen is that this 349 billion US dollars right now is running out, and it may not be enough. It may not be enough to take care of all of the small businesses. So similar to the Philippines and similar to other countries, that small businesses comprise a large chunk of the economy, and if there will be people that will get hit the most, it's not those large conglomerates. It's not, of course, everyone will get a hit, but the small businesses will do worse, versus Amazon, versus Facebook, versus Apple, versus Microsoft, versus Nike, versus Disney, versus Starbucks. The smaller ones will get hit the most. So that's where we are in the US. And again, this will be a prevailing theme that I want you guys to watch over the next few weeks. How are the jobs in America? How big is the ripple effect in it? And I really believe that we haven't really seen a total lockdown yet in the States. That when they implement a larger lockdown, because cases just continue to pile up, again, more and more companies will close. There will be a smaller demand. There will be more job cuts as well. Anyways, let's continue. And again, I'm not saying this because I want to um, somehow scare people. Uh, it's so that you can prepare. Information today is one of your greatest assets. You applying the information that you get here is one of your greatest weapons for you to be able to win and for you to be able to either pivot, strategize, or know how to place your money over the next few months. Next, uh, I also mentioned that let's talk about some stocks that are connected to the coronavirus because I made videos before on stocks that are positive on it. I also made some that will get hit because of the coronavirus pandemic. But I also mentioned in a previous video that I want to talk about some uh, companies that are also connected to either a vaccine or a cure or something that will help taper this off or at least help aid in the fight against this pandemic. And I'm sure you've seen this in the news that Gilead Sciences Incorporated, their company is all over the news right now because before I say what the reason is, they're an American biotechnology company that researches, develops, commercializes drugs. The company focuses primarily on antiviral drugs used in the treatment of HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, influenza, including Harvoni and Sovaldi. I don't know what those last two are, but here's the thing. A news item came out that Gilead gains on report they were able to make drug that could that works to combat the coronavirus. So again, I don't know if this will be implemented fast. I'm sure there will be a lot of testing still before this will be fully rolled out. But that's why the stock, if you look at it here, for those who like to use moving averages after it broke past here 60 plus, boom, it started to move up all the way 77, 78, 79 US dollars per share. And looking at all the parameters also, it's pretty much bullish short, mid, and long term. And that's for those who are looking at charts, that could just be your trigger, looking at what the charts are telling us. And if you follow the charts now, you will actually see, hey, February, it's actually moving up still, it's actually pushing up still. And that's the, I guess, significance. You can either look at the news, you can either look at the fundamentals of how these companies are developing stuff that will help against this pandemic, or you can just look at the charts break out into an uptrend. Another one that you could also look at as an idea, or a company that is doing well because of this, is Abbott Labs. What they're doing right now is, because I don't know if you know this, Trump wants to open the economy as fast as possible. That they want to, again, a lot, they're not in full lockdown yet, but there are a lot of things that are not already there. The NBA is not there, sporting events, concerts, etc. is not there, and that's a big drain on the economy. Just the number of games that doesn't get played in the NBA is already billions right now. So Abbott is developing mass screening tests that will allow, as you all know, we need testing. The faster that they could do tests, there's more people that needs to be tested than the testing kits that they have. Similar issue in the Philippines as well. But that's where Abbott is. But because of that, also, boom, as you can see, large move up, hits the resistance, falls down a bit, gets protected by the 20-day support, then boom, breaks out again massively. MACD is supporting it, the breakout is there, and candlesticks are also bullish as of this point in time. So that those are two stocks that are interesting and are highly connected to what's happening in this whole lockdown slash pandemic era that we are experiencing right now. And I'm gonna put in more. Comment below among the two, which do you guys want? Do you want G Lead or do you want Abbott? But rest assured, I'm gonna keep you updating. I'm gonna keep on updating you for more stock ideas from all of this as well. Now we talked about what's happening in the U.S. We've talked about some stocks that are connected to it. Let's go now to the second largest economy in the world, China. There's been a lot of talk about China, not because of the pandemic, not just because about the open Wuhan, but they disclosed GDP figures. And here's what's so interesting. A lot of people were projecting the worst GDPs. I think the everyone who were projecting the GDP, they were already noting that China's economy would go to negative, meaning it would contract, it would become smaller. I think the most conservative one was around 5% contraction, and then the more aggressive ones were around 20% contractions. Everyone was right that the GDP contracted, meaning the economy of China became smaller. But it wasn't at the worst case. The GDP dropped to around 6.8%, and it was the first time uh, since 1992 that this happened. So if you notice it, for China, sustained yan, it never dropped below 6% for a very, very, very long time. But for over 28 years, this is the first time that you saw the Chinese GDP hit negative growth as well. So the reason why I'm pointing China out as well is, again, if you're watching the US economy, which is the largest economy, China is the second largest, and both of those countries are interconnected. What happens to them affects not just our trade, doesn't just affect tourism, it also affects sentiment as well. So what happens in those countries affect all of us as well. But one thing that I'd like to point out also is, how does this affect the Philippines? China is one of the biggest trading partners of the Philippines. And for those who have not seen my previous videos, I'll just say this over and over. If China's economy is down, definitely we will be hit. One of the reasons why in 2008 we were not hit as much was China was zooming, roaring in 2008. They were one of the reasons why the global economy was still pushing up, because their economy was doing well, India was doing well, and the Philippines was also a recipient of it. Now, China is one of the biggest trade partners of the Philippines. So try to imagine this, and I gave this example before, that Apple products are sold globally. They're made in China. However, as they're made in China, some of the parts that make those phones are from the Philippines as well. So if there's weak demand in the US and there's no factories in China to jumpstart it, that means demand for exports from the Philippines to China is also hit as well. And please remember this, electronics is one of the biggest exports in the Philippines. Our exports are already low, not as good as Thailand, not as good as Vietnam, but our electronics are one of our biggest exports. And if that gets hit, you can also expect that our economy will take a toll as well. And please do note this, part of that, one of our biggest tourist arrivals over the past years is our Chinese. Because of the lockdown, because of what's happening in China, we're pretty much affected. So one thing that I'd like you to point out and to look out for is basically this. Watch out for the GDP disclosure again this May. People are asking how the markets will be. I guess one of the things that I could tell you is basically this. If the GDP, everyone's expecting it to be bad. But here's the thing. If it's worse off than what everyone else thinks it is, then you could expect the markets to even go lower. I repeat, if the GDP is better than what everyone else is expecting, then the market may stabilize or even go up. But if it's even worse, it may cause a sell down in the markets. And here's the thing, this is just fresh off the press. This is not anything connected to politics, but I guess this is something to do also with uh, our economy. Our NEDA chief, Ernesto Pernia, resigned, left his position. I don't know what are the specific details of this, but there might be maybe some differences in policy, but this is something worth noting also, especially at the time where the economy right now is a bit fragile as well, and it needs the best minds in the country to be there. So, did you guys learn a lot? Comment below if you guys have any questions. Comment below if you learned a lot from this. This is not essentially stock picking, but the reason why I make videos like this also now is I want you to also see the way I would think, and the way I discuss this, the way I would talk about the markets, is that's the way I process information from my own personal investments. And as you all know, my style in all of this is, I'm not a person who likes to give you tips. I'm a person who likes to give you skills that I hope you get how I think, how I process it, so that in turn you can also replicate it in your own investing, in your own strategy as well, because at the end of the day, that's what will cause you to win. That when you follow your unique style, when you follow your unique techniques, that's what's going to cause you to make winning convictions in the stock market. So if you have questions, put them in the comment section below, and we're going to try to make more videos off of that. If you like this video, this added value to you, super appreciate it if you could like it, put a thumbs up, put a comment, share, subscribe, smash the bell, because at the end of the day, it helps show this to more and more Filipinos that need it. And I really believe financial information is something that's needed at this point right now. Financial information is something that Filipinos need to. We need to make financial education sexy. And if there's one thing that I could contribute, it's just giving as much free content in YouTube for you guys as well. I know not everyone will read books, not everyone will attend seminars, but everyone can watch videos on YouTube. So there, I just want to end quick plug. Books, you can order them via the links below. Online courses with Chinkitan, you can click the link below also to register. And another online course with Sean Si, you can click the link of that as well if you want to join and be part of it. And super appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thank you so much as we hit 100,000 subscribers already. You guys are all part of this journey towards financial freedom. And second channel, please also subscribe. And I guess that's it for now. I guess I just want to end with another quote also. Please remember this. Take the time to pause. Take the time to somehow no look back on how good God is to all of you, because at the end of the day, we're all blessed. And no matter what you're going through right now, no matter what's on your mind right now, if God pulled through for you before, He's gonna pull through for you again. That you succeeding in life is not based on how good you are, that you succeeding in life is not based on how talented you are as well, or you coming out of this. It's not based on all of that, but it's all about God's grace in you, that if He helped you before, He shall help you again. And just wanted to share that because I don't know, there might be some people right now that may be going through some stuff, that may not be feeling so well, and that you feel that things are not as good. Guess what? There's a reason why you're still alive, and because your mission is not yet done, there's a reason that your ending is always good. And if you think it's bad, that means it's not yet the end. I repeat that. If you think it's so bad, that means it's not yet the end. So keep on pushing, keep on hustling. This is Marvin Germo, and I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.